While it looks relatively simple, it's very misleading because you have a lot of routing options. There's a bunch of places where you can direct different functions to control different outcomes, and it makes for a much more complex synthesizer than one might at first assume. Well, that actually is true, but then there's the situation that is the modulation matrix, which is not really listed on the front. You may not even know it's there if you didn't look closely right around this region. The modulation matrix is basically a modular outcome, which allows you to route some of these functions to other functions under the hood, which is pretty cool. It's basically virtual patch cables. So that is awesome. And this is a pretty novel way to do it. It's pretty straightforward. There isn't a lot going on, and it makes use of something that has a variety of uses. So if we wanted to modulate some things using the modulation matrix, this is basically all you have to do. First, you should look down here where it says mod assign. Over here are your modulation sources above the white buttons, and over here above the black buttons are your modulation destinations. So you can use DDS2 to modulate something, and remember DDS2 can be an audio range oscillator, or it can be an LFO. So that's an LFO routing that you may not know that you have, that you could basically route a number of places, more than just these destinations here, which we'll talk about. LFO2, this guy over here. Envelope 1 can be directed someplace other than the VCF, which is convenient and also elsewhere. Your velocity can be used as a modulation source. Aftertouch can be used as a modulation source. This is where you keep hearing me play, and then there'll be this like LFO that's happening, and that's because the aftertouch is being used over here in the left-hand controller. But there is aftertouch, and you can direct it to control these destinations and other destinations. Pedal CV, so what's going in the back, you can use as a modulation source. Bend negative and bend positive. Those are your modulation sources. Then over here in destinations, we have LFO1, cross mod right here, this function. Envelope 1 decay. Envelope 2 release. Resonance, delay time right here, delay feedback right here, which means you can do some pretty crazy effects, and LFO1 something. Not sure what that symbol means. I'd probably have to look that up. But anyway, so you have a number of destinations, and basically if you wanted to engage, I'll show you, there's two types of ways you can do this. One way uses these destinations, the other uses any destination. Well, not any, a number of these destinations. Anyway, so let's just do something really simple here. Let us direct LFO2 to, well, let's have it control LFO1. That would be really weird. Okay, so if you got this really super boring sound. Okay, so let's do something interesting with it and add LFO1 controlling the filter. Okay, so we have that happening. What if we wanted that LFO1 modulation to change in speed in a cyclical way? What we do is go press mod assign, select LFO2, and then select LFO1. That is as easy as it is to make the patch point. Now that you've done that, you want to choose the amount. So you go over to the mod amount and just turn the knob, and we can see right here in the black buttons the amount portrayed in LEDs. So now let's hear what's going on. Now the speed of LFO1 is being controlled by LFO2's fluctuation. And you can affect how that changes LFO1 by LFO1 settings. Okay, so there is an interesting application. This is the sort of thing that you don't see on an older synthesizer. Again, people often ask me like, well, isn't this just like a Juno 6? No, because you have this level of functionality. You have two LFOs, first of all, and then you can modulate one LFO from the other using this modulation matrix. So you can choose all of these sources and apply them to all of these destinations in the amounts that you want and get a variety of interesting outcomes. One that I really thought was fun was, okay, let me show you how to break this connection. There's a couple of ways you can do it. Shift, and then we press this, and then mod assign, and it's gone. All diminished chords. Okay, so let's say, here's a really fun one we can do. We can go to the mod assign button, choose bend positive, and delay time. And then the amount, we'll say a lot. Okay, so then we turn on the delay. So the time's really short right now. As you can hear, there is a, that's a really cool effect. Actually, let's turn it off so it's not affecting the pitch. Yeah, so I had a lot of fun with setting that up in the sense that being able to control feedback time is, or delay time is always a blast. But there's just another routing possibility. Now, there is more to this where, let's do this again. Choose that, should clear. All clear. Okay, let's go into mod assign. And let's say you want LFO2 to control, well, let's just do something simple. Again, a really obvious thing. Let's have LFO2 control I'm just going to have it do the filter. Okay. It's super boring, but it gets the point across. Okay, so you choose LFO2. We want that to control our filter cutoff. So then you reach up to the filter cutoff and slide it. Now, I don't know if you saw that when I did that, there was a little sequence of lights that went to this LED here, and that tells you, hey, that's a thing you can do. That's going to work. And then choose the amount. And now LFO2 is controlling our filter cutoff point. Okay, so you can basically, taking these original modulation sources, you can now direct them to control a variety of other functions. You can't control every single function, and I don't know which functions you can't control. Maybe it'd be good to see if we can find them. Let's have LFO control DDS2. That one works. LFO1 to the VCA. That one works. Huh, maybe it's many of them. How about cross mod? Yep. Pulse width modulation. Oh no. You cannot control the SWM/PWM controller in this way. So, okay, that's when you don't get any sort of lights going to the button you're trying to use as a source, you'll know that that's not a destination you can choose. But you can choose a lot of these destinations, controlling them with these sources. And that is basically what you have going on in the modulation matrix, which shows you, I mean, this is an incredibly powerful synthesizer. It even has this modulation or this modular aspect in regard to modulation. That is the modulation matrix on the UDO Super 6.